technical stuff. Sorry, guys. All right, here we go. Here we go.
Can you hit my G?
Finally getting off. Happy 4 Tweezy, everybody. Shout out. Good look at my shirt. Everything gonna be all right still. Everything good still. Right on time. What's good, everybody?
Good evening, guys. Happy Thursday. Come on in. Come on in.
Get into a real spicy topic as always. A little bit of introspection. Get into our own issues and making sure we don't live in a judgment zone, judgment-free zone here.
Yep.
To each his own.
Hi guys, we see you guys
Come on,
coming
pull on
in.
in,
Come
come
on
on.
in. We see you Facebook.
Let's
We
discuss
see you
this.
IG. We see you YouTube.
These addictions, who ain't got them?
Here we go.
Addicted to your addictions.
Yeah. First, we want to
Tell some
start
truth.
off. Yeah, hey Jess, we see you in here.
Let's tell some truths.
Yes. We want to first by saying thank you to everyone who supports us every week, who continues to watch. Our numbers keep going up on all social platforms, so we completely thank you. Love you and appreciate you. Continue to share, follow, like and subscribe, please. We're just trying to make this bigger, right? We're trying to be national with this, go bigger,
global with this.
Go hard or go home, right? Go hard or go home. So we want to thank you guys. So
shout out everybody, 420 getting it in, they got it in. Salute all my smokers and my stoners. What's good, everybody? You know what I'm saying? Oh, as promised, special guest. He is in the building. Yes, we are sipping on the brown while we talking about addictions. Yes, we have the nerve. Well, let's get into it.
All right, let's get into it tonight. So tonight's topic is, am I cheating on my significant other with my addictions? So the first thing I want to say, I'm sure the first thing people thought was, oh, talking about drinking, smoking, drugs. No, we're talking about all addictions.
We were talking about that, but we're gonna hit you with different levels of what exactly we talking about. Okay.
Yes.
This topic came to us like an epiphany, and it was like, wow, during our journeys and our own alone time and everything else, you kind of think to yourself, like, what pulls you from your significant other, and you never really consider an addiction something that distracts you from your relationship being better or could possibly jeopardize your relationship.
Absolutely.
So let's get into that.
Let's get into that. Jess already started with the video games. Dang, she hit the video games coming out the gate.
Yes.
Jess, she came out the gate with video games and ESPN.
The dreaded Call of Duty and Madden combo that he's never off. Only puts the game on pause.
Let's start by what we're talking about when we say cheating with an addiction. Let's start there before we get into it. So cheating, right, is when most think when you're doing something sneaky with another person, right? Infidelity, sex, and anything that's intimate with someone else, right?
Yeah.
But when you're cheating on your significant other with an addiction, it means that your addiction, the thing that is either the thrill seeker to you, the thing that either is consuming your time, consuming your energy, and taking away from your significant other.
Taking your presence away from that relationship, taking your presence away from your children, taking your presence away from you working on yourself, working on your business, working on your aspirations.
Everything.
We're talking about that thing that you cheat on. You kind of cheat on yourself in a sense, but we thought about it in the sense of a relationship. Because a lot of people have these addictions and addicted to a phone. It may seem simple. Everybody has a phone, but if your significant other is spending 85% of the time on their phone in your presence, that's a problem.
But before we get into the details, like I said, you got to understand, cheating is when it's something that's impulsive that you cannot stop. It's something that you may have to sneak and hide and do from your significant other.
See, I thought I thought in the same sense of an addiction, something that you can't help. Something that you struggle to let go, something that you struggle, you enjoy it so much that you kind of hide it so you can continue to do it.
Yes.
And that interferes with your real life because while you're hiding doing that thing, someone else is missing your presence. Someone else is suffering from your absence.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, like we said, there's so many different layers to it, right? People.
My brown always there. My brown is always present, by the way. I ain't jugging nobody because, you know, we talking about addicts and all that. And every Thursday, you're like, the realist is always on that brown liquor.
It's not an everyday
Disclaimer. This is the only time that I actually indulge in alcohol. I'm not a big drinker. I'm not a social drinker because when you go out, people always try to, oh, come on, one more. Oh, let's get one more. I'll buy you a drink. I'll buy you a round. And I'm not a drinker like that. I like to get my nice little taste, my little buzz, and I like to stay somewhat focused. Yes. I don't drink to get drunk.
Yeah.
Not judge anybody that does do that. Not judge anybody that has that addiction that can't stop drinking.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is, for me, that's where I draw the line. So
yes.
Don't think I'm speaking as no hypocrite because I'm sipping on the brown. It's my little treat every week. You know what I'm saying? Just keep me balanced. I'll give y'all a little spicy version of myself.
Good.
All y'all swear I don't talk.
Oh, yes. Let's get into it, though, right? So different layers, right? Most people who have these addictions think it's not an addiction. They think it's not a problem.
Okay.
When they're significant
what do they think it is?
They think, oh, it's okay. It's not that bad. I don't do it that much. It's not affecting us. It's not interfering in our relationship. Yes.
Okay.
So it's, to them, it's like, oh, it's okay. And they'll always justify and say, well, at least I'm not doing this. Yeah, I may be in the house playing video games all day, but at least I'm not running the streets. You know what? Yes, I may be shopping egregiously with things I don't need, but at least I'm not buying drugs. Oh yeah, you know what? I may be smoking weed every day nonstop, but at least I'm not smoking crack, right? Let's bring it there.
Damn, said that a bunch of times.
You know what? I may be sitting here on my phone all the time, but at least I'm in the house on my phone, or I'm doing work, I'm doing business, I'm doing school stuff.
Preach.
At least I'm not looking at porno, right? That people who have porno addictions, oh, I'm watching porno, but at least I'm not out in the street cheating.
At least I'm not cheating.
Exactly. So when you have an addiction,
right?
Listen, while you have an addiction, you're always justifying why you do it.
Absolutely.
You understand?
Absolutely.
You always
100%.
justify
100%.
why you have the addiction. And you don't realize what that's doing to your partner. And this is men and women. Because men and women equally both have addictions, right?
Absolutely.
So we start with shopping addiction. Yes, shopping can be an addiction. We talk about retail
No, shopping
therapy.
is usually I'm not going to be biased and say it's a woman thing, but predominantly women have the shopping addiction, right? Or would you say it's 50-50 with males?
I think it depends on the men, but I feel like women use the shopping as a justification for more things. Does that make sense? Like, I'm shopping because I'm stressed out. I'm shopping because I need this. Oh, Amazon. Listen, women could go on Amazon and look and browse. Men are not browsers. Men will be like, these new J's just came out.
This is what I want.
I want to get this.
Don't
right?
get the wrong size.
Listen, I want these new rims for my car, and I'm getting it.
Don't get the wrong size.
We'll be scrolling through stuff. Oh, yeah, I do need that. You know what? I should get that. Men,
do you like this color? What about this color? How's this look on me? Oh.
Yes. No. Men are just straight to the point. You know what? I need a hat to match my jersey, match
swag
my sneakers.
Quick. Let me grab this hat real quick.
Boom, so they'll get it. Women will just be going on Amazon.
Okay, so it's the style. It's the style of it, but we both equally have that same addiction. And shopping specifically only becomes a problem when it's finance.
Yes.
Because there's people that are rich, I'm pretty sure that are wealthy, and shopping is, they can go. What is that term you use for shopping that they use to justify
retail therapy?
Did y'all hear this, fellas?
Retail therapy.
This is the new
but listen, even
retail therapy. That's how you blow a bag and justify it.
Listen, even people with money, they can still have a shopping addiction. Listen, if you have an addiction without money, you're gonna have an addiction with money.
That's true.
Right?
That's true. So that becomes a problem at a point.
It doesn't. Money
at a certain point.
Money doesn't change you for the better. Money exacerbates who you really are.
Okay.
So if you a liar broke, you're a liar with money. If you a thief while you broke and you get money, you're a thief with money.
Preach.
You understand what I'm saying?
I know who y'all is.
If you're an egregious spender when you're broke, you're gonna be an egregious spender, and unless you get some financial help. But money doesn't change your personality. It just it heightens it, whoever you really are.
Okay. So let's get back into this addiction thing specifically.
So we have shopping, right? We talked about shopping. That's one kind of addiction. Video games. Okay. Now, I remember I was on Sega Genesis too when I was a kid, right? Boom, boom. I was trying to get to level 8
Sega Genesis, y'all.
Listen,
don't hate.
Don't
my
hate.
80s babies, stand up. Because y'all the only ones that identify with that.
Everybody who knew who had that Sonic and Knuckles, that was me, right? I was trying to get right. But as an adult, right? How much video games can you really play?
The appeal of the video games. So let me offer a different side for guys, okay? Video games are a crucial part of our growth and development. That's where we learn to talk trash. That's where we learn to be conveniently competitive without actually physically being competitive. And as we get older, we meet new people that like to play more games. They like to play the same games as us. So I grew up in the same era. I actually grew up a couple of years earlier with the Nintendo. We had the Nintendo with the Duck Hunt, with the gun, you know what I'm saying? And then we had Genesis, and then Super Nintendo, and PlayStation, and then it started evolving, right?
Yeah.
You know, we love video games. It doesn't matter what it is. It's adventure. It passes the time. It's a little bit of mind challenge. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things that, as you enjoy shopping for the different various things, and we enjoy the challenge of video games, of competition. You know what I'm saying? And as we got older, even when I went to college, one of my favorite games, all my homeboys are stand up, 007. We spent so many hours playing 007 as grown college students. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we all was into it. You know what I'm saying? Really passionate into it. Call of Duty is the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's an escape, basically.
It is an escape.
Video games are a great escape for dealing with the mundane routine of your life. If you think your life is not as exciting as you normally would. And now a video game should not, any grown man would know that you're not going to get the same pleasure from a video game than you would from a partner or a woman or enjoying life and going out in the world. But for some people that are introverts, that's perfect. That's enough contact for them.
Yeah.
They can go live in the world, be competitive. Oh, I'm sniper so-and-so. I got 1,000,001 kills. You don't want to mess with me. My gamer tag. I'm YouTubing your mom. And all that. They get to talk trash and nobody get to smack them in their face for it. So video games it's an outlet. It's an escape. Like most of these addictions.
Yes.
That escape part is hard to shake because you want to be more ingrained in your family. Yeah, you want to be there, but you have another life where there's no stress other than press the button.
Yeah.
Talk trash. When you're done, you had too much. If you can't take the heat, you can always turn it off. You can't turn your girlfriend off. You can't turn your wife off. You can't turn your kids off. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's a retreat for us.
Okay. So video games are a retreat.
Big time. So for certain men.
Okay.
Certain men. Because some of us like, I like money. I like going out. I like jewelry. I like
doing things.
So I can't play video games and be successful.
Yes. Okay. Good.
All right.
So then we have the phone and social media.
Big time.
Woo! I see in so many relationships the phone is a major issue.
Convenient.
Major. Now, my husband and I, we even get to periods where if one of us are zoning on the phone too much and we want each other's attention, we'll say to each other, babe, can you put the phone down for a moment? I'm trying to talk to you.
Oh, we really will. And, we get attitudes over that, too. Yeah. Like, yo, you still on the phone?
Yes. And like, I know, and me, I do all my business through my phone. Text messages, clients, emails. Yeah, I'm just saying, some people just be on their social media. Some people aren't entrepreneurs. Some people don't check emails,
right, I get you.
So I do tons of business on the phone. And we'll have to check each other sometimes, like, can you get off the phone? You're still on the phone. I'm trying to talk to you. And we give each other that respect, and we do it because you have to step away from it.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Social media is one thing that I don't mind stepping away from, me personally. I sometimes even fast and go on little hiatuses from social media.
My wife, I can attest to that, and I can prove to that. My wife, even before that was a trend, because that was a trend of a lot of people. I'm going to take my time over social media. Because once you started getting bullied, social media, and I don't know if anybody's been bullied social media, but I have myself personally, I had to learn to leave them sports alone, man, because there's some real people with no lives, ain't nothing but time to troll.
Yes.
Like, you literally got to log off for your own sanity because they have nothing better. I mean, they dig in that Photoshop.
He said he was bullied on social media.
I was bullied.
He was, and I was like, why?
And I was ready to come to fist the cuffs of it. I was so tight.
So like, why? Why are you going back and forth? What are we doing here? I was so annoyed.
That was a grow up moment for myself. I will admit, I had to pull out of that sports bullshit and talking to people back and forth about their favorite players and their favorite team. Y'all all phony. Nobody gets paid to be a fan.
Facts.
I don't care what your team is. I don't care how much of a groupie of a superstar you are.
Yes.
None of us get paid to be fans.
And
so I'm not going to waste any of my time.
And who taught you that, boo? Who taught you that?
My wife. My wife is the one who enlightened me. I had to ignore you nuts. And if you're watching right now, trolley, I'm talking about you.
Listen, I basically had to be like, listen, no, these people are still rich, whether they win playoffs or whether they don't. They go back to their nice, beautiful mansions and stuff while all these broke people
and you sitting there defending them like that's your cousin in them.
I'm talking about so-and-so.
No, he the greatest. No, he the greatest.
Even with football too, my dad big football fan. You know, I asked my mom like, "What is this with these men getting mad over these football things?" Listen, people gonna be offended by me saying this. Escape. That's an addiction. A fan fanatic is an escape
from reality.
Me personally, these people don't care about us. Why are we putting all that energy into
them?
That irks my nerves. So when it gets sports season, I kind of got to shut down too and be like.
And you know it's hard to get pulled into it because you love your team. You want to see your team win. Especially if your team is a good team and get a bunch of championships. You feel like you kind of a part of it. You know, and New Yorkers, all my New Yorkers talk trash. We don't know how to celebrate nothing without. But we better than your team. Your team, but to certain people,
for all you fanatics
and certain mentalities, it's a serious thing.
If we put listen,
but we gotta grow up.
If people put that much energy into a business or something constructive, we would be millionaires. Because the energy we put into athletes and stuff, it's ridiculous. I'm just saying my point. Listen, I people want to like your team. I like every team. I'm the one that I'll root for the underdog. Like, hey, I want the Browns to win this year. That's me. You could be mad. That's me, but it doesn't matter.
I don't pay my wife no mind when it comes to any sports predictions, past or present.
Okay, on to the next. Social media and telephone.
Okay, bang, bang, bang.
A huge problem. People escape into their phones. People, you have to know when to put the phone down. You have to know when to step away.
But it's also, too, you got to look at the point of, like, yeah, you want me to do this, but why am I escaping? Are you giving me a nagging relationship? Are you giving me a hard time? You know,
listen,
are you telling me to do something that you yourself not doing?
One, it's just some people who just, if you're an entrepreneur, the one thing they say is content. If you don't have some kind of content creator or someone doing your stuff, you have to always be on posting, which is time consuming.
It is. That's how the game is built.
My husband does all the content that you see because I just don't have the time.
And she really think I just be on my phone. Like she doesn't understand how long it is to design a post, make sure you got your stuff right, then send it to the right followers, tag the right followers, and stay consistent with it, then create a bunch of pictures and make listen. It's work, period. You know what I'm saying?
But this is how I feel. When it comes to phone and social media and business, you have to learn how to chunk your time.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
You should have a period during the day where, okay, I'm focused from 11 to 1 will be my book writing. From 3 to 6 will be social media content.
Right.
From 7 to 9 is family time. After 10 o'clock, no phones.
Yeah.
It has to be some kind of.
It's hard to have that discipline, though. It's hard to have that discipline.
Dr. Jamie.
Because a lot of people too don't want to face their addictions. Period. They don't even want to admit that they have an addiction. They like, no, you got a problem. And especially if I'm a functioning addict, how you gonna tell me I can't have mine?
Exactly.
Being real with you.
Work-home balance is an issue. Yes, and that can be addictive as well. I see so many people so addicted to doing their work, they don't have time for their loved ones. Yeah. You have to put that
often
stuff
interferes
down.
With it.
Yes, you have to be able to step away from this.
But also, too, before anything, you have to be a person personally to prioritize certain things in your life.
Yeah.
Because I know addictions get ahead of yourself easily because it's something so comfortable. It's something that you would actually enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And if you're dealing with a traumatic situation or you're dealing with a situation that requires some kind of change, and you're a person that's stubborn, you don't like change, you're going to fall to that addiction because that's a comfort. That's an escape. Whatever that addiction is, that to you, that relationship becomes like the cheating. It becomes like you're getting something outside of your relationship.
Yeah.
something that's filling the void that you had in your relationship. Absolutely. And that you're going to keep clamoring to, that you're going to keep running to, because it's harder to be like, you know what? I don't need this substance right now. I want to deal with my problem.
And no one does.
Let me sit here and talk to my wife or talk to my significant other about what their real problem is. Damn, you got a problem drinking. Damn, you got a problem smoking. Damn, why are you on porn all the time? You got to realize and that's why they say everything's supposed to be in moderation. And when you do these things and they take away from you, when you need to do things that you enjoy, like making love to your wife, and you've been on Pornhub all week, you ain't got nothing left.
Yeah.
You shooting blinks. You don't have no.
Wait, let's hold off on the porn one. I
thought it was a good segue.
Wait. I want to do substance before we do porn.
I didn't know we had a list. Okay. Go back.
Sorry, rewind. I'll get to the porn and sex addictions in a minute, because that's a tricky kind of one, right? So let's talk about substance, drugs, alcohol addiction, right? We know that's a major thing.
So can we classify this first and foremost before we go any further?
Yes.
Now you have recreational drugs, and you got take you out, can't fucking deal, don't want to see nothing until I wake back up. I need some more drugs.
The functioning addict too. Don't forget, someone could seem like they're not using substance, but they're still sneaking.
It's hard to sneak a crackhead.
Okay, crackhead, of course, but
when they chewing on that invisible gum, y'all know, I know I ain't get that joy, and they real unsettled. It ain't no hot in that, fam. It's no hot in that.
Okay, so crackhead.
So let's make a difference. I don't want my potheads being lumped in there with the crackhead.
Let's narrow it down to a function. Let's talk about a functioning addict. Let's talk about a functioning addict.
Okay.
Someone who can get up. Functioning addict is someone who can still get up and go to work every day. Go to work either drunk,
pay
go to work high, still pay their bills. Okay. But they're doing a substance, whether it's pills, whether it's coke, whether it's weed, whether it's alcohol. It's still an everyday thing that they feel like they need, right?
Okay, dependency. It's a chemical dependency.
And listen, people may be like, oh yeah, I drink wine every single night.
That's chemical dependency.
But why? I need it because to calm my nerves.
Chemical dependency.
That's still an addiction. If anything that you feel like you need to help fulfill something that is pleasure, that's an escape, that's a form of addiction.
See, but this is kind of, it's so funny because we talked about double standards last week.
Yep.
But there are double standards and things like this. So somebody could be a pothead, right?
Yep.
They're not harming anybody. They're just a little loofy. They might not pay attention or be a little forgetful, but for the most part, they're a pothead. Then you have a mom that'll drink a bottle of wine every day. Nobody's tracking her to see that she's taking out a bottle of wine every day, but she is, right? In those two situations, you have the pothead. If you take the weed away from the pothead, he's going to be antsy, he's going to want to smoke, but he's not going to flip out. Take that bottle of wine away from that wife and see what happens. See how many folks get cursed the fuck out. See how many kids get cursed out. See, listen to me. I'm trying to make a very valid distinction. Okay. Certain substances have certain levels of dependency that are different, and I think that needs to be taken into consideration. Yeah, okay, smoking weed may not be a thing you don't like the smell, but I never see nobody really die or OD from smoking weed.
But it's not about what the substance does to you. It's about,
I never see nobody cause a car crash.
But listen, it's not about what the substance does or how it makes you react. We're talking about addiction, you being addicted to it where you cannot stop.
Yeah, but the addiction part also is when you don't get the substance and how do you react to it.
I've seen.
Do you ever see a crackhead not get his crack?
Listen, I've seen some.
You know the squirrel from Ice Age?
Yes.
With the acorn?
Yes.
Very antsy.
Yeah.
All over the. That's literally how they act when they don't get the crack.
But listen, not just crack. I've seen people who stop smoking weed and they're nasty or they're aggressive or they're mad or they're punching holes in the walls.
Really?
Yes.
We talking about weed or K2.
Weed. K2 is a whole different ballgame.
I think people be thinking it's the same shit.
It's not. I've seen people who have it, this is clients.
Okay.
I worked in a substance abuse center.
Absolutely.
If they don't have their marijuana, right? They're grumpy. They're angry. They could be aggressive.
Violent.
They could be Some can, because if someone has an aggressive tendency, the weed mellows them out.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
If someone's being a radical, irrational, they'll smoke weed and it'll calm them down. So yes, it's very possible.
I just never really seen. I mean, most potheads just get really inventive. Like, they the ones that start new businesses just so they can have weed. They become the weed man because they want to smoke weed. I never really seen a crackhead build a Fortune 500 company because he want to keep smoking crack.
Well, we're just talking about the different kind of substance. I'm talking about the actual addiction and the dependency on it, which takes the time away from your family. Good evening, everyone.
It does. And the whole addiction, regardless, like you're right, regardless of the substance, it still causes an absence. It still causes a separation. And it attacks your relationship. Because think about it, your relationship is about you cohabitating, being around that person, learning from their mistakes, learning from their pros, their cons. So if you're not present in their life to have that, and you're all zoned out because you're on a substance, or you're trying to get the substance again, how can you thrive in that relationship?
Or even drinking or doing the drug, trying to hide it from your spouse. So doing it at work, doing it in your car,
like you're cheating.
Doing it before you come home, hoping that the person can't tell. That your addiction is taking over your behavior, and you're sneaking. So if you have to sneak and do that, you're cheating on your significant other.
So if you guys are exuding any of those behaviors where you're indulging in something, but you're hiding it because you can't control yourself doing it, that's an addiction. That's a red flag. That's you. It's time to get help. You have to go talk to somebody and get this under wrap. You gotta first admit that this situation is out of hand. It's okay. We all make mistakes.
We all have something.
We all suffer from something. We all fail, but the key is to not live in denial. The key is to stop getting defensive when people bring these things up. Because if you're naturally doing that, if you're getting emotionally defensive, if you're telling, no, I can, and you're just like my wife said, you're justifying it. Oh, I'm not doing this. Oh, I'm not doing that. That's a real deal problem, family.
Real problem.
Save your life today.
Absolutely.
Get the help you need.
If you feel like you need to have a drink every single day to calm your nerves,
if you can't stop drinking,
that's a problem.
If you can't, better yet, if you can't calm your nerves without drinking, it's a problem.
It's a problem.
It's a problem.
If you gotta hide bottles, hide sips, that's a problem.
See, because I feel like I'm a funky. Everybody know I'm pro weed. You know what I'm saying? And when I don't get my weed, I am crabby. I do have an attitude, but then I love weed so much that I say, you know what? This is just the time for me to sacrifice so I can enjoy it the next time. That's how much I love weed. You know what I'm saying? I tell my wife, damn, sometimes I do feel like I'm cheating on you with Mary Jane, and she don't never complain. I don't gotta change no damn diapers for her. We do our little thing. We ain't bothering nobody. We all creative. We coming up with these new exciting posting ideas and these business adventures and stuff like that. So, I use it in my own, ceremonial thing. But what I realized too, whenever I'm loving something so much, I'm taking that time away from loving my wife. I'm taking that time from loving my kids. And that's what I really love more than any substance. Even more than my brown. I love my kids and my wife.
You don't love brown that much.
If I had to give up the brown, I could.
Yeah, you don't.
Mary Jane would be a bigger struggle.
At least you're honest.
Just to be transparent.
Let's be honest.
But if at the cost of my family, my life, and my integrity, I could give up any substance. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's what it's really about. That's how much love I have for myself and my family. Yeah. That, regardless if it's an addiction or not, I'm just going to do without it because they need this better. They deserve better.
Yep.
Than my little selfish high. And that's real talk. Let's salute to the brand.
Salute
to the brand. Salute to the brand.
Let's talk about porn and sex addictions. Okay? So,
oh boy.
Porn is something that it's a slippery slope because you have a lot of people, women predominantly, who are like, my husband, my spouse, but not ever watch porn. That's disgusting. That's this, he has an addiction.
Where's my grow up sign?
I've heard of people leaving their significant others because they were into porn and things like that.
That's so selfish, yo.
And then sometimes they could just stop. They can just this. Why do they have to do that? porn is something that's a personal choice for that person, but it is a real addiction.
It is.
People don't understand sexual addictions. It doesn't have to just be sex. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
A sexual addiction does not have to just be intercourse. It could be anything that arouses a person. It's a fetish. Someone could have a sex addiction to feet. Someone could have a sex addiction to someone's hair, finger, whatever. They're a woman's back.
And what's great about porn is that porn accommodates to that. You literally have a search engine. Whatever little freak shit you into, freakazoid, funky butt, anal, whatever. You type it up, videos about that shit come up.
Yeah.
It's so hard. It's like, it's literally a rabbit hole.
All right, wait, can I have a quick story time about sex addiction? Guys, this is story time. I'm about to disclose something very interesting. So get the popcorn, listen to this funny story.
Doc exclusive.
Okay, here we go. And if anyone is on here that I went to a doctorate program with, you all know this story, okay? So first year doctorate program, we had an assignment where we were told we had to go to some kind of public service group anonymously, take notes on it, see how it is. So substance abuse, NA, AA, whatever, parenting, some kind of group, right?
Okay.
So me, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to a Sexaholics Anonymous group, right? So I Google some in the area. Long story short, I get to this place. First off, the meeting's in a Catholic church, and I'm like, how are we having Sex Anonymous? A Sexaholic Anonymous in a church, right? So my happy self, I walk into this church. They're like, oh, down in the basement, right? So first off, I walk in this room in the basement, and it's about 40 white men in there, and I am the only female walking in there. I don't care about the race, but I just want you to picture me.
Set the scene.
Hey, you know, so I'm just like, this is awkward. So we sit in a circle, and I'm hearing these men talk about their sex addictions, like men who have addiction, like cheating on their wives because they can't stop having sex with transvestites, right? I heard one man talk about that he sits at the mall, and as he's watching women walk by, he's sitting in his car masturbating. Like, the stories I heard, I was like, I was blown. Okay, like these.
How many was them?
It was about 40. It was a pack basement.
She walked up in there. They was like, "Bang, bro."
Listen, so first of all, that's going through my head. I'm like, "Oh God, right? I gotta get this assignment done, right?"
We got a bucket on our side.
The things I heard that were fetishes, men cheating on their wives with transvestites, these addictions that they had. And I was in shock. So,
that's crazy that they can talk in front of you so candidly.
First off, let me
that's their group though. That's their group. You the visitor.
Let me tell you something. Let me break this down. One, I was having an anxiety attack because I'm in the church with a whole bunch of men talking about some perverted stuff. I'm praying to God, please let me get out of here safely. Let me try to take notes. So you guys want to know the kicker? She said probably turn them on. Listen, just listen. Let me tell you the kicker. So they go through all the men, clap up for the people, all this stuff. They get to me. They're like, hi, what's your name? And what brings you here today? So, of course, I give them a fake name. And I'm trying to think. I'm like, sweet baby Jesus, what am I going to say? I can't tell them I'm a student, right?
Fake in the phone.
I'm like, hey, I give them a fake name. Y'all, I made up this whole fake story. Like, hey, I have a sex addiction. I've won sex 1,000 times a day. I just made up this whole story. Y'all, I was in church lying. Wow. I was like, but my heart was racing. I didn't know what to say. God forgive me. You know, I had to pray. So
see how that peer pressure work? even when it ain't your peers.
And then listen to this. At the end, they was like, congratulations. Thanks for coming. I can't remember the name I gave them. It was something.
Thanks for coming.
It was something like Cheryl. I gave them some name, and then they was like, since it's your first date and you shared, you get your first coin.
Oh,
anybody who's been ever, I guess they get coins for every level.
Yep.
Yeah, they had the nerve to have us hold hands praying. Talking about here's your first coin. I was in there having all kind of anxiety, panic attacks. I was like, Lord, please forgive me.
Why did that never happen to the realists? Why did I never walk into a room, a basement full of 40 women talking about their sexual addictions? Only my wife.
Only me. Yes, the jerking hands, Jess. Yes, the jerking hands.
I would have been holding no hands. I would have been like, all right, y'all good.
Oh my goodness. They said their little ritual chant.
They had a chant.
They had a chant, their little prayer. They gave me my coin. And then it was like, listen.
He said they had a chant. You done walked in some real culture. Yo, only you.
Listen.
Only you. And naive as possible.
I was scared to tell my husband when I got out because I was still having heart palpitations. Listen. I have my little coin in my hand. They come over to me like, listen, we have other groups where women come. Feel free to come.
You're nasty.
Right?
You're all nasty. Okay. I'm out of here.
Listen. Okay. Last thing. Let me tell you. So 2 days after that, I went to Cheesecake Factory because I ordered some food. And I'm standing online, right? And then some guy was like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, hey. He's like, do you remember me? And I was like, he's like, from the group the other day.
Oh, no.
First off, you're not supposed to say that in public. Listen. Weirdo. He's like, I hope you come back. I was like, yeah. I couldn't remember the name I gave, but I was like,
Listen, they all had a fantasy with you in their mind that night. Bro, I promise you.
Listen, if anyone on here has a sex addiction, I'm not joking at the sex. I'm laughing at my situation that I put myself in. But I got a great grade. Everybody that's in my program, they was in there laughing when I told the story.
That is a straight Bang Bros classic. Thank the Lord they didn't go the wrong way.
Listen.
And you got out of there okay.
So if you do have a sex addiction, they do have groups for this where you can go and talk and release. You'll get your coins, you'll pray, you'll meet some people that you know.
Into the shit you into.
Yes, that was not anonymous. He wasn't supposed to say nothing to me and then talk about from the group.
He was so excited that he saw you. He was like, "Oh, that's the freak. That's the freak from the meeting."
And y'all,
I'm about to holler right now.
Listen, Lord, forgive. You know, I asked for forgiveness. I said, Lord, I'm in this church lying. I'm in this church basement lying. So
you said Bang Bros International. That's a lot of what you say. All I heard was Bang Bros. All my porn watchers know what that means now. Come on now.
Listen, so porn and sex addictions, those are some people porn, that have them.
It's very engaging too, and especially it's we got to watch porn too because as sexual horny creatures, anything that we derive pleasure from, whether we doing it to ourselves or we're doing it to others, it's so easy to get attached to that. We get dependent on that fake pleasure, and we don't really we almost replace love with sex. Yes. We replace love with lust. Yes. And we get our channels mixed up. Our feelings are mixed up.
Yes.
Somebody that's toxic for us, somebody that's no good for us, but they can do that sexual pleasure. We're so dependent on that oral, that whatever gets your rocks off.
Yeah.
And we don't love ourselves. We love that feeling. We sell ourselves short.
Yeah.
We deny ourselves. We could be in love with somebody, our soulmate, but we'll settle for lust.
Yep.
We won't be faithful to the one we love because we're so enamored with lusting.
And then you gotta understand too, a lot of people, they're not real with themselves. You understand what I'm saying? Like they're not real with their sexuality. They're not real with what they like. These are things that should be apparent in the beginning of your relationship. You know, it should not be something that you're hiding. When it comes to intimacy and sex.
Yeah, I feel like anything that you start to hide, that's something you got to kind of question. Like it's getting out of control. You know what I'm saying? Even when like I know women to a lot of guys, like you said before, I'm not cheating on you. So the whole porn thing is a comfort thing because it's like you're getting to live your fantasies off. You get to see all these women do sex that you want to do, but then a lot of times you can't even duplicate that realistically.
Exactly, and a
porn
lot of
is fake, y'all. You know that, right?
Porn is just some people. A lot of people feel like porn is cheating.
You got some kind of sexual DNA in you where you can fuck all the time. That shit is a show, y'all. You can't beat. That's not reality. That's not making love. That's not sexually engaging with somebody.
Some men hate when women use sex toys.
I don't care about that shit, man. If you getting off, we getting off, man. I like that. I like that because I like women being pleasured. I love women moaning. I love knowing that whatever I'm touching or making them feel that they're feeling that ecstasy, they're feeling that release. So, I don't have no problem with that. I think a lot of guys that have problems with toys and stuff like that is because they have insecure. Yeah, like they don't got no wood behind that lick.
That
so
could be it. Yeah,
you can't really pound out. So you think like, that little machine is doing more than you, which most likely it is.
Exactly, it's their ego. She just said like they're not enough. It's their ego.
But I look at toys as co-workers. I'm like, tag it, your turn. I'll be right back. Shit, let's use all the tools. You know? Men love our tools. You know what I'm saying? We love our tools.
Yes. So again, sex addiction, porn addiction, that's a very big thing. Very common. Again, talk to your spouse about these things.
Big rabbit hole. Don't fall down it, fellas.
Yeah. You know, just take that time. So again, we all have something with us. You know what I'm saying? We all have some kind of addiction, something that we feel we need. Mine is, what's my addiction? Do I have addiction?
There's several.
I have several.
This is not out us about our addiction. I'm clearly wearing mine in the brown. That's where it stops, y'all. I'm a superhero outside of that. Let me stop. My wife's addiction, and since she wants to participate, to hers is big travel.
Big travel.
She likes the accommodation, red carpet, gold spoon edition, you know, wherever we go. And I'm like, damn, man, can't we just get in the building on a regular? No, why we need to go if we're not going to, you know? So, and she think it's hard too because, you know, comparing it, that's not an everyday addiction. That's something that you got to wait for. You got to, you know, work towards, you know, hopefully you have the money for. Yeah. You know, some people be going on, you know, I'm going to borrow a vacation and be paying it, you know, and at the end of the day, it's just not worth it. Yeah. You know, so, but we all have those things where, but the one thing I will say is that I wouldn't classify yours so much as an addiction because it's not something you do by yourself. You don't claim or steal money out of our account so you can go on vacation. Very true. You know, you give me the respect and let me know it's a business decision, or even if it's a personal thing with you and your homegirls, you let me know, like, listen, I want to do so and so, blah blah blah. It's cool. I already took care of the kids. I already got food. You know, like she makes these provisions, so it's easy for me to be like, all right, fine, boo. Okay, you're going again. You know what I'm saying? And I really do respect that.
Thank you.
You know, it helps me help her, so to speak.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And since we both go on vacations together, I wouldn't classify that as an addiction. Vacation traveling becomes an addiction to her when we can't go when she wants to. Like I was saying with the weed and the crack, when you can't get that addiction or that substance and you turn into that person, that's the problem.
That's the problem.
That's the issue right there.
Yeah.
That's the cheater. Yeah. That's the liar. That's the hider. That's the thief. To get what I need. That right there. When you cannot live or deal or cope with not having that thing, that's when that addiction is out of control, and you got to really reconsider your life at that point.
Yes, and you don't realize the thing that you're reveling in, that you want and you need, how much it's affecting your relationship and your household.
You don't care because you feel entitled. I want that shit. I deserve that shit. I work hard. Come on. Any women that got a shopping problem, right? Men, we can say whatever we want, but at the end of the day, what y'all gonna hit us with? It's not your money. It's my money. It's my business. I work hard for it. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then you go into that whole thing. But see, that when God buys something, we buy something on the slide. You find out it later, like when you itemize and like, oh, well, why'd you buy that? Oh, no, I was on sale real quick. I had to grab that. We don't sit there and go through all them semantics with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's not as frequent. The purchases are not as frequent.
Yeah. And even me with the phone, I caught myself doing this, like, if I'm doing work all day, a lot of times my phone can be down too if I'm doing stuff in the house. So once we finally sit and relax and we have our me time, and now I'm on my phone scrolling. Hey, Anthony. I'm on my phone scrolling. And I'm on my phone scrolling. And my husband's like, come on, boo, let's have quality time. I'm like, I worked all day. Why can't I just sit here and enjoy social media? I didn't get to go on social media, and I have to catch myself like, okay, you know, I'm justifying why I want to be on the phone.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. That's that addictive behavior. That's that addict behavior. You know, shout out to my boy Anthony Rizzo. Long time, man, since the PRC days, man. What's going on? I think that's the same dude.
I don't know. No, that's Anthony Rizzo I went to school with. Sorry.
My bad. I thought that was old Anthony. They worked at one of the drug facilities when I worked for the Prevention Resource Center. But yeah, drugs is out of hand. And I want to say too, a lot of hard substance drugs like heroin or crack, shit that really take you out of your world. You forget who you are, you forget your responsibilities, and you become dependent to that devil,
yes,
of a substance. That right there is telling on itself.
Yep.
I feel like a lot of people that suffer from those type of addictions don't really appreciate their life, and they don't want to really continue their life as it is. So that is the closest thing that they can have to death. That's the closest thing they can have to peace that they can control.
But you
you got to be able to break that, because that right there it's not to all my addicts. You don't realize is that it's crazy that it's just you. Yes, it is your life. You can make decisions with your life, but we're denied a father. We're denied a brother. We're denied a son. We're denied so many things when you make that decision.
A sister too, because women have addictions too.
Absolutely. We're denied a mother. We're denied a daughter, an aunt. And those addictions have torn our families apart for years. Yeah. Haven't we lost enough people? I think that's why us growing up suffering from the crack epidemic, and surviving that a lot of us, we take a bullet to the head before we smoke crack. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, a lot of us are potheads. Yeah, we smoke weed, and that, to certain people, like, oh, no, that's not bad. But we are present in our kids' lives. We're not taking these substances that are separating us from our kids. And those that are doing that and separating yourself, you already know you already reaping what you sow. Yeah. Your life ain't even life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we're not judging anybody. We're just trying to get everybody to make the best decisions for themselves and their relationships. This was the whole point of bringing this up and saying that, we're not judging you to say if you don't cheat on your spouse with your substance or your addiction, because it's an addiction. It's something that you're struggling with, something you're trying to get better out. Or your phone,
or porn.
But be mindful.
Sex. Be mindful.
Ask the question, is this interfering with my life? Is this interfering with my happiness? Is this interfering with the communication and the cohesion I should be having in my relationship? Yep. Like, you got to ask these questions. Absolutely. Sometimes that video game got to be put away for a month. Yep. I know it might hurt. You might lose your stats. You might not hear from your friends. But those are the sacrifices you make to make sure that your reality is good. Yep. To make sure that your loved ones are loved.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like we said, everyone has something. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's cigarettes. I don't care if it's vaping. I don't care if it's beer, alcohol, weed, pills, coke, porn,
coupons.
TV,
it could be coupons.
Netflix.
Be addicted to anything.
If it's something that one is taken away from time with your significant other, if it's something that a significant other brings to your attention, like, listen, this is taking time for me, like,
well, I don't enjoy your company while you're like that.
Yes.
I can't be around you while you're like that. You're embarrassing to me. You can't handle your stuff. You're slurring. You sloppy. Yep. You have to take a conscious look at yourself and say, you know what? I love this person in my relationship more than this addiction. It's time for me to at least try to do better. Yep. At least give myself a chance.
You're on the phone, the game, or on the TV, and you're not spending time with me. You haven't even had a conversation with me to ask me how my day was. Right. But you're quick to go get on the phone, or you're quick to go get on anything, social media, and you're not bringing that in. That's a problem too.
And how much does that relationship decay from that?
Oh my gosh.
When you really need this person, what's so weird? You've been avoiding this person so long, enjoying your addiction, that when you're with them, it's almost like being around a stranger.
Yes.
You're not even comfortable around your wife anymore. You're not even comfortable around your husband no more. You're supposed to be doing this other thing. You know what I'm saying? And
you get irritable.
And that other person, how long does that other person supposed to deal with that? How long do you really expect this person to ride or die with somebody that's not locked in?
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, these are the questions that you have to ask your relationship, in your marriage, in your engagement, in your dating. Yeah. These are the questions that you need to be reevaluating with your spouse and saying, you know what? Damn, I have been taking a lot of time away from this.
Listen, there's one thing I want to bring. We didn't talk about food addiction.
Right? Okay, yeah.
But one thing I noticed, listen, them people on my 600-pound life, they got some faithful, significant others. That's interesting, right?
They feed them to death. They feed them to death. You're literally feeding someone to death. And you can't, first of all, that's so disgusting in your own self, because, you don't want to make love to this woman. You don't want her to be able to enjoy your touch, your pleasure, to the point where they can't even maintain their hygiene without you that's not love.
Yep.
That's dependency. That's control.
Yep.
That's manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
That's not love.
Yep.
You wouldn't want to have nobody happy 600 pounds. How could you be happy doing that?
Yep.
You can't even walk in the park with me without it being a struggle.
But that could be addiction for that person feeding it too, because it's the control, addiction to control the person. So, like I said, there's so
ask these questions in your relationships, y'all.
Yes.
This is we putting this out here to work through this. This is not this session right here is not to tell people, oh, are we better than y'all? Y'all doing it. That shit is not about this for y'all. We learning too.
Yeah.
We come up with real talk for real solutions. Y'all know our tagline.
And like I said, everything we talk about is something we've gone through.
Or
personally thought about, been through work, we've had conversations about.
First-hand experience.
Like, this is real. So we're not telling you nothing that we haven't experienced or gone through in our relationship.
And even in our own addictions, we've learned to compartmentalize them. We've learned to say, okay, I have a problem with this. Mm-hmm. Can we manage this? Mm-hmm. Is our relationship going to survive if you do this, or I got to completely stop this, or I got to start? Like, these are the real decisions, and especially when you're engaging in a marriage. Yeah. You got to understand, once you locked in, you locked in. Yeah. You can't take that back and be in good conscience with that. Yeah. And especially if you believe of a higher power, because that's not only a commitment that you're making with a human being, but you're entering a covenant with your creator. And you don't want to disappoint him. That ain't type of promise you want to just take back. Things don't work in your favor when you make those type of disagreements.
Yeah. So for everyone out there, like I said, we all got something, right? Whatever it is, think about it. Working, or someone said they're a workaholic, working, all of these things. Think about the negative effects, positive effects that has your life.
What are you working for? What are you working for if you can't spend the time with the one that you love?
Yep.
Just think about it. All the work is supposed to be in this, that's supposed to fund your family. That's supposed to invest and keep your family ingrained.
Yep.
No work in the world is going to be better than spending time building that relationship.
Yeah.
Because that's what you take past that job. That's what you take past that opportunity. Your family's what's left in your retirement. If you love your job so much. So definitely take that big look in the mirror, y'all, and say, whew, man. Yeah. I gotta stop the brown. Or I gotta stop the smoke. Or I gotta stop the shopping. Or I gotta stop the lying. Man, I have been hiding this from them. That's the time to be real with yourself. That's the time to take your life back in your hands. And listen, you might have a long road to travel to recovery. Recovery in itself is a lifelong journey.
Yeah.
But you got to get it started.
Yeah. And the biggest key is here, we want to say, it's all about balance and moderation. Mm-hmm. We're not saying you can't do these things you enjoy.
Yeah.
We're not saying stop working. We're not saying stop going to the gym. We're not saying any of these things. We're not saying if porn is your thing, whatever you want to do. We're not saying that drinking, whatever it is, but everything has to be in moderation. And our goal is to help you in your relationship, in your home.
Yes.
So if your significant other is coming to you with a grievance about any of these things, just be mindful.
Yes.
Be mindful. Like, everything is about compromise. You love this person. It's about compromising for them. It's not about being a slave. It's not about them telling you what to do. Love is about compromise with the person.
Love is about sacrifice. And also take a look at yourself. Am I indulging in things? Am I tuning out on this person? Do they keep coming up with the same thing, saying that, oh, put down the phone. Oh, you don't spend time with me. Oh, when's the last time we watched a show together? Mm-hmm. When's the last time we gave our kids a bath together? Mm-hmm. When's the last time we sat and helped put a meal together? Mm-hmm. These are important things. You're in relationships and you're living with a stranger every day. That can't be enjoyable.
Yep. Like Tamia said, there's a stranger in my house.
Yes.
Listen to that song.
Make sure you're not the stranger.
Make sure you're not the stranger.
Make sure that you are not the stranger, because it's easy to say, oh, she be doing this all the time. That's why I do it. Nah, man. Like, let me tell you something. One of the biggest pills in the world to swallow is an accountability pill.
Yes.
Okay? That's one of the hardest things of all time to say, you know what? I made a mistake. This is my effort to change and correct that. That is a very difficult thing for us as human beings to do.
Yep.
But kudos to you if you can do that.
Yep.
And those people that make those sacrifices are the ones that thrive in their relationships. Those are the people that they love. People love being around those type of people.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're a people pleaser or you don't really care for too many people. Just a simple fact that you're genuine. Just a simple fact that you're mindful. You know, that somebody else is being uncomfortable because you're pursuing a selfish need. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about the introspective, y'all. We know y'all can do it. We all have our addictions, but listen, we're stronger than that.
Yes.
God's power is stronger than that.
Absolutely.
Our love is stronger than that.
Absolutely. So guys, like we said, just look at yourself, boundaries, set these things up. And it's about working on yourself every day to be the better and the best you can be.
Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Yes. Shout out on for 20 years. Let's wind it down, fellas. I know a lot of you got work tomorrow.
Yes, guys. Again, we thank you guys. Please follow us if you know anyone of these
like
couples
and subscribe.
Counseling. If they need couples counseling, individual counseling, my husband, he is a life coach.
I am a life coach.
Specializing in working with men.
I'm walking and talking, y'all. I ain't no bullshit artist, okay? I always tell people I am the best man, not your yes man.
Yes.
We're going to get you straight, all right?
Yes. So please just follow us, DM us at The Doctor and the Realist, also at Dr. Alicia Delgado Gavin.
Absolutely.
And we love and appreciate you all. Again, thank you to all our wonderful supporters and followers.
And if you like what you saw, please jump in the comments. Like and subscribe, Dr. and the Realist on Instagram. Especially go to our YouTube page right now, Dr. and the Realist, and like as many videos as possible, especially this one. Thank you again. We couldn't do it without you. Have a good, beautiful night. Try your best to do anything in moderation, y'all. That's the key.
That's it. All right. Thank you, guys.
Love, peace, and healthy addictions.
Healthy. There's no such thing.
No such thing?
No.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Relationships over addictions. There you go. Peace.
Can you hear me? I'm at 30 degrees.